Coco Pops vi regala un ingresso omaggio in oltre 150 parchi divertimento acquatici e faunistici con il biglietto che trovate sulle confezioni di Coco Pops.
I've got an intro. Sure.
That was your intro.
Yeah, that's my intro.
Alright, better be good, man.
Welcome to the Sunday movie. I actually did it.
Oh, you done it, did you?
You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. Welcome to the Sunday Movie Marathon. This episode 74. I'm Max,
I'm
the
Chris.
guy from Coco the gorilla.
I'm Chris, the Coco from Coco Pops.
Yeah.
I'm Phil Collins, that drummer from the Coco Cadbury advert.
Phil Collins from the Coco Pops album. We're talking about how the monkey got his name.
Wait. It's more along the lines of...
No, it's more nuanced than that.
No, I just mean I've never really looked into what his name was, and I was just like, oh, what's the
It's
monkey's
Coco,
name?
it's on the box.
Is it actually on the box?
Yeah, it's called Coco Pops.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean it's the monkey's pops, does it?
What? Yeah, yeah, it does.
No, because if you don't know his name's Coco, you would have just thought it was
You infer
chocolate
it.
pops.
No, you infer it. A child could infer that. It's Coco's Pops. And the pops are the cereal. Coco's the monkey, then they pop when they're just chocolate flavored Rice Krispies, right?
Yeah.
And what's the Rice Krispie slogan? It's like snap, crackle, and pop. And those are the geezers on that box.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but
So that it's just like that, covered in chocolate.
maybe I'm like the only person in the world
And
who
the
didn't know
Coco's
that
Pops because
Coco was the monkey.
Yeah.
And do you know what? If there is anyone actually listening to this that also didn't know that Coco was the monkey, please tell me so I
Write
can feel
in.
less stupid.
Right into our PO box.
No, just scream at your device right now. Like, oh, I didn't know his name was Coco.
I'm sure
Please.
some people believe you. I'm sure some people understand what you're going through.
This is very traumatic.
They understand your plight.
This is a first world problem, if anything, to be honest.
What's some other good cereal, guys?
Oh, let's not. Oh,
Got the
except
Sugar Puff Monster.
the Sugar Puff Monster. No, I like the that gold mining guy from the Golden,
the Golden
Nuggets.
Yeah.
They were like my favourite cereal growing up. They were like all I would ever eat. Like, no joke. It was like scrambled egg and
What the
Golden
don't.
Nuggets. Not
No,
together.
come on.
No. Like as
No, I mean, even
alternate
then,
meals.
you did scare me then, because I thought you were just stirring scrambled egg into milk and Golden Nuggets. But just to have that as a side to a bowl of cereal, that's disgusting.
No. But I just mean they were the only two breakfast
Oh,
items
okay, they
that
were
I would
separate.
probably have. Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
No, I know I'm a fucking freak, but I'm not. I'm not at
Okay.
that level.
Well, not in the realm of cereal.
Yeah.
No, I'm more of a rice and a pasta and gravy kind of person. I'm that kind of freak.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that is
It's-
proper grim.
Yeah. don't worry, I've been
That
told
is
that
horrible.
before. I have a friend who I don't know if she ever even listens to this, but she calls me out on it all the time. She's like, oh, if I talk about something being gross, she's like, you're the one who likes to eat pasta and gravy. And I'm like, do you know what? I know.
There is an art to gravy.
Right, I know. Yeah, I mean, I think it works with everything, though, really.
Oh, you're insane.
I am insane.
About Golden Nuggets.
I've never done it, never tried it. But another elite cereal, Cookie Crisp.
Oh,
Elite.
no, that kind of sucks, though.
I mean, it's not
I
as
used to
good
love
as
that
you
when I was a
imagine it to
kid.
be.
Yeah,
I used to like it when I was a kid. It's just cardboard, though. That's like a cardboard cereal.
pretty much. Doesn't really have much of a flavour.
No.
I don't know. I didn't mind it because it was it was kind of crunchy, but kind of tasted
It was something that I liked a lot as a kid, but it doesn't hold up.
No, it doesn't.
I haven't had it in a long time, so I wouldn't know. Like that whole Crave thing. I like Crave, but I don't
Oh, yeah.
love Crave. You know.
That was like the cream of the crop for £7 a box.
Yeah.
You get for a
Yeah.
Crave.
We actually had one recently. What was it? Cookies and cream.
Yeah, that was really good.
It's all right. It tastes almost like if someone got white chocolate and chocolate spread, not the one that you mix together, and put it in a Crave. That's all it was.
Yeah. Cookie Crisp does suck though. I would if you taste a bit of chocolate, it's like a miracle.
Mm.
Oh,
I don't.
finally a little bit of respite. It's like taking a break in between marathoning Sallow or some shit.
I mean, I just don't really remember. I just remember liking Cookie Crisp, but I haven't had it in so long that I couldn't even tell you whether it was bad or good. I just remember going, "Oh man, look at that Cookie Crisp." It was kind of faddy, wasn't it? Because I actually thought it was going to be like genuine cookies.
This is the next big thing.
Yeah,
They've distilled the essence of a cookie into
a cereal.
The convenience of a cereal.
But the thing is, they still make it, so someone's eating it. But
Not
it's
me.
a bit like I once tried Fruit Loops. Vile.
Oh, yeah, they're disgusting.
Why the fuck is that a thing?
They're one of those American ones. Those are like Lucky Charms.
I want to try Lucky Charms.
Suck so
They
bad.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like dehydrated marshmallow, isn't it? Is it like crunchy rather than soft?
I don't fucking know.
Oh. You ever had
No,
it?
it's
I had
soft.
I had them
It's
before,
soft.
yeah.
Mm.
It's kind of like, it's almost like golden nuggets with marshmallows, kind of.
Yeah, but that
It's like
sounds
golden
amazing.
nuggets if you left your bowl of golden nuggets for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Doesn't really
okay.
have much flavour.
That's like
It's
the worst
quite
part about
soggy.
any cereal. It's like
Yeah.
you leave it for, I don't know, 5 minutes and it all goes soggy and disgusting.
Yeah, it's either soggy or stale,
Oh.
isn't it? I've always got that impression that if you have cereal out of the box, you pretty much have to eat all the cereal, otherwise it just doesn't stay nice.
That's why I avoid cereal.
I don't eat it that often. I only like my mum tends to like keep them in these like glass jars. It's such a white mum thing to do, but
Oh yeah.
but I like that because it keeps it fresh. Like I had like I think it was like Frosties every day when I went
God, yeah.
home.
Frosties suck, man.
I love Frosties. They are
they're the
elite.
worst for like the
No.
sogginess. You leave them for 2 minutes.
Oh
and
yeah,
they
yeah,
go
yeah.
soggy.
No, you're right. Like I have to put the milk in it, and then literally the spoon is like
Yeah.
straight out.
Shovel it into your mouth.
I
yeah.
don't even like.
Quick.
You know how like some people like Chris, for example, he has so much milk in the bowl that there's like more milk than cereal. But I obviously can't have milk, so like I just have like the smallest amount in there, and it's not soggy. It's nice.
Yeah.
I like dry cereal though as well. I'm one of those people. I know. It's just abhorrent. Look at him. Max is just like, he's done.
I don't know. Like I used to eat cereal every day, all day. What is this fucking conversation? What? I used to eat cereal.
Do you know what? I think it's because we
then
don't
I
have
found
it.
God and
There was no pre-movie chat, so I had to
This is what-
spice
this
it
is
up
what we
with this
get.
stupid
Yeah.
fucking cereal debate, which we don't need to have if
I would literally rather eat nothing than a bowl of cereal nowadays. I would rather eat
I
nothing.
think that. I mean, I'm prone to like a good croissant or like a
You said croissant.
croissant. Yeah.
Croissant. Say it again.
No,
Say it
Croissant.
again.
croissant.
Oh, that's insane.
What?
So have an A in it.
Yeah, it's got-
Croissant.
that's not where the A goes, is it? It's croissant.
Well,
It's croissant.
oh wow, yeah, no.
It's like a QU sound. I hate people. Yeah, I hate people who are like, "Oh yeah, I'm just gonna go get a croissant from the bakery." It's like, even that's not as bad as what you just said.
Yeah, no. At least
Croissant. I'm just gonna get some croissant from the. Give me a croissant.
I bet there are people out there like fucking seething right now. Just seething.
What is that Kanye song where he's like, "Give me my damn
Oh,
croissant"?
I am a god.
Yeah,
Maybe that's where I got my.
that's the only applicable way I'll hear that in that way. No, it's croissant.
Do you know what,
People are butchering the French language. I tell you, no wonder they fucking hate us.
yeah, no. To be honest, I hadn't really ever thought about the way that I said it. No one's ever mentioned that before. Like I've said this to Chris before, and you've never brought that out.
He doesn't
I
want.
don't think I've ever noticed, to be fair.
Oh yeah, this is what I mean. I don't notice it
Or he's just
either.
not
It's
petty
just-
enough to call you out on the pronunciation of fucking
And Max
croissant.
is. God
I am.
damn.
I'm insane like that. I'm a nut. I'm crazy. Just like Coco, the Coco Pops monkey. Speaking of which,
These are the conversations we didn't get while we were isolating and not together.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
it. We've actually got like the opposite of cabin fever.
Yeah.
Like we know.
we haven't been in the same room for what feels like years.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah, I
like
know.
almost 3 weeks, I think.
God, we're recording in person
I
again.
know. Yeah. I like missed this room.
Yeah, I did
Our little
too.
movie room.
Our secret Sunday movie marathon headquarters, which is a studio.
100% a studio.
And definitely not just a room in my nan's house.
Yeah, with a TV that has little tiny animal figurines on it.
Those are great. Wait, I mean, yeah.
I don't think people are gonna even understand that. Like trying to picture this TV with like little
Yeah.
tiny animals on it.
They're there. The tiny animals are there.
I like this one. I've not seen this one before. Is he new?
No, that's the what the fuck is that?
It looks
it's
like a
an
badger.
anteater.
Anteater.
It's the anteater mother's child
Oh,
because it's
so
a
that
baby
works.
one.
It's cute though.
Yeah, it's striped.
It's just really tiny. I never noticed it. Tiny friend goes back on the TV.
Welcome to the Sunday Movie Marathon. We watched some Pixar movies and we each picked one. We were like, okay, Pixar movies. We picked some Pixar movies.
Yeah.
And we went for, I guess, some of the more recent ones.
Yeah, it's post 2010.
Which was a very interesting decision considering like we've openly said that Pixar have kind of been in a slump the last decade.
I just
mean,
wanted something to shit on.
Yeah. I mean, actually, I would argue more that I wanted to see the spectacle of my film anyway.
Yeah. I wanted like to shit on how Pixar is nowadays, but that's not what I'm going to do.
No,
Having seen all these movies now, I'm like, oh, okay.
To be honest, bar my film.
They've got some stinkers, I'll tell you that. They've
yeah.
got some stinkers.
They do.
Some of these aren't those though. I don't know, but we'll get into it. So, do we want to kick it off with? So we're gonna go in like not like order of release, but like order in which we pick them. So Chris goes first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good, because that's the order in which everything is laid out on here.
So I picked the 2017 movie Coco, directed by Lee Unkrich and Adrian Molina. The film is about a young boy called Miguel. It's set in Mexico. He dreams of being a big musician. He has an idol called Ernesto de la Cruz, and he feels like he has the talent and he wants to kind of prove himself, but his family are very anti-music and won't let him do that. On the famous Day of the Dead celebration, on the night of that, he goes into this tomb where Ernesto's old guitar is held, and he tries to steal it because he wants to perform at a talent show and prove that he is talented. But doing so leads him to somehow get himself transported into the land of the dead, in which he has to try and get a member of his family to send him back while letting him perform music. That's the basic plot, I guess. It kind of, there's a lot of different threads it goes down. I think, Darcy, you've never seen it before, but me and Max have. That's correct?
Yeah, I was on the lookout for the Coco Pops monkey, but he did not show up.
I haven't actually written this down, but now that you mention it, I was actually confused up until like, I don't know, the first 4 seconds. I was like, why is it called Coco? But it kind of it makes sense. But
Yeah.
they could have named it anything other than Coco, to be honest.
Named after a character who's barely in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, it's that old geezer. That one.
Old geezette.
But I mean, she's like, although she's barely in the movie, she's kind of a very integral part of the plot.
It pretty much centers around her,
Yeah.
to be fair.
I guess so.
Yeah, I mean, I really liked it. I really, really liked it. I mean, when Chris suggests, because I was going to suggest it, and then I turned around and picked some other abomination. So Chris was like, do you know what? I'm going to pick Coco instead.
Yeah.
And I really, really liked it. It was one of those weird, it's one of these things, right, where Pixar have like this kind of like template story kind of thing when they're like, oh, this is the outcast of the family, yeah. And then they're like, we're going to tell it in a completely different way. And I feel like every single film we watch has done that, but they've told it 3 different ways.
Yeah, pretty much. And all 3 films are about, I guess, outcast, black sheep sort of characters and how they overcome that in some sort of way.
What I like the most about this film, what I actually like more than in, say, like the other films, is they've got like this theme of like death running through it as well. And I feel like it's a really kind of, it's almost like a taboo topic to talk about death in like children's films and like trying to explain it to them.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what Dia de los Muertos is about, right? It's the Day of the Dead. And I mean, I don't know all that much about it, but it's definitely a cultural thing with Mexico, I think, where they kind of celebrate it, and it's like looked at something it's like, yeah, death is out there.
It's
and,
like a celebration of people that
of
have gone.
death,
Yeah.
or like of life, really. It's kind of about.
I really
it's like
like
how a
that,
funeral
yeah.
is supposed to be a celebration of how
Yeah.
a person
Instead of
lived
being
instead
sad
of how
about
they
it.
died. With this, I think I like that they go into like the culture of it, and, like this different kind of culture that we're not used to in, I guess, in England, from where we're coming from. But I found it to be just a really interesting take, I guess, not on like that as a theme, but I think from like the way we've seen Pixar handle different cultures, I guess, or even Disney, just overall.
Yeah, I feel like this
Sometimes they're like, here's a culture, stop snapping at our heels.
Yeah, I feel like they've actually kind of taken the time to research into the culture a bit more, rather than like I don't know, if I'm really thinking about it, like something like Turning Red. Like they kind of just shoved in a bit of culture and went, this is a thing.
Praise us.
Yeah. Whereas this one I feel like had more of a purpose to it. Like it actually had a story to follow that didn't necessarily.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
It's like
it was of a culture that had to be of its culture. Like
it's like the plot hinges on the culture and not the other way around, I guess. Or like with Turning Red, I guess it was just like kind of did that, but
yeah, it did need to be.
It didn't need to.
Yeah, it did.
Just like here's another movie about a person who turns into an animal.
But then it was obviously supposed to be like a shameless rip-off of My Neighbor Totoro, really, wasn't it?
I guess.
Well, they were going to call it what? My Neighbor Toronto, weren't they?
Yeah.
So it was obviously meant to be some sort of like shameless inspiration.
Yeah, that would have been
for
horrendous.
But
yeah, apparently the filmmakers and animators for this travelled to Mexico 5 times to research about the culture.
5 times?
Yeah, they wanted to
That's
get
quite
it right.
impressive.
They kind of they all loved the experience apparently and enjoyed like seeing like the folk art side of it and seeing how they actually celebrate this festival. I think they kind of wanted to adopt a lot of that into this film, and I think they did it really well.
I feel like it is something that, like, I don't know about you guys, but I have a lot of friends that are like really interested in kind of like the Day of the Dead, like more the aesthetics and stuff of it rather than like the cultural side of it. But I would actually really love to go and see what they do, because it sounds like something that like should be more westernized or something. Like I feel like we're always really like sad and glum about death, which is fair enough because, you know, it is sad and glum or whatever. But like, wouldn't it be nice to just have like one day where you just kind of like, I don't know, go over to your little shrine or whatever, and like just have like a drink on them, or just like talk about them or something. I don't know. Like I feel like it just needs to be more.
Yeah.
I feel like it just needs to be a bit more normalized, like just talking about like people who are gone.
Perhaps it's like life is finite. You gotta experience it while you have it. Celebrate the good things about it instead of like despairing over what's so terrible.
Yeah.
I really love the animation in this film the most out of these 3. I think visually it looks incredible, and I think the way they adopt the kind of the look and kind of what you think of when you think of that Day of the Dead celebration and like Mexican folk art and stuff, they really adopt it incredibly well while still making it look and feel like a Pixar movie, like kind of what you expect from them. I think the animation, like in terms of like the character designs as well, is really great. Especially when they actually go into the land of the dead and like you see all the characters in the spirit world, who are all like skeletons and have that like face paint and markings on them. I think that all looks really, really great.
Yeah, that's all lovely.
Yeah, it definitely follows the art style, so to speak. Like, there's definitely a certain aesthetic that goes along with that culture.
All really nice, like use of light animation, I think, and like the way they're able to, I guess, present this different world and have it feel very removed from the world that Miguel is used to living in.
Yeah.
A lot of, just like in terms of the animation, I think I was really like, I loved all the stuff they were doing with like lights and like, I guess like sunlight or different lamplight that kind of shone through windows and like cast different shadows on the characters. A lot of good use of color with that as well. I think this might be like one of the better Pixar movies in terms of like its use of color, because it just goes like really all out with it.
It's really zany, isn't it? Like, I felt like this was the most. It's going to sound really stupid to say it out loud, but I'm hoping that you guys kind of understand when I say this. but it felt like the most animated. Like, with an animation, you can just go all out with it because it's not real life at all. I felt like this was the most accurate to that whole, I could do anything I want with this.
Yeah, I
like that a lot.
I love the color palette throughout. It's very, very orangey, kind of looks.
It's very neon-y, doesn't it?
Yeah, a lot of it looks like dead leaves that are everywhere, like that kind of orangey, crunchy brown sort of look. But there's also like a lot of blues and pinks that contrast really nicely with it as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm still like just astonished whenever I see like water in these movies now. Just like I really think they've. Yeah.
Don't. That was literally something that I was going to bring up in a completely different part of this podcast. But scenery in these films are bar none, right? Like, I'm not trying to be funny, but they literally are like insane.
Yeah,
it just looks like you could just like grab a cup and just like shove your cup in this animation, and you'd get a nice.
If you're looking for really good animation, I guess because Pixar basically, I guess they're like the biggest animation studio in. We've got like the Western
let's be honest.
area. I guess like maybe Studio Ghibli would like kind of rival them, but I don't know. Like these guys are like the big dogs, you kind of expect their animation to be the best. And I guess it depends what you're looking for with animation. I think in terms of like the 3D animation, it's just like it is really good. And even in the weaker films, you're like, the animation's still good though. It's still really good. But like in terms of like the water that I was mentioning, I thought like the all the what do you call it? It's like fluid simulation. I think all the fluid simulation with the water they're using in CGI, fucking fantastic. But you could just like pick it up. And, it feels real. It feels.
You just want to take a drink.
It feels real without feeling separate from the movie itself. I really enjoy all of that.
I guess that's how they kind of. But that's just how they animate, though. Yeah. They have this way of making everything kind of flow together. I don't know how they do it.
There's like that big pit that they fall into, like they get chucked into near towards the end, and like when they go in the water, it's all blue and like kind of like all the reflections and
there's like
on
rocks
the walls and on the rocks. Yeah. Oh man, it looks lovely. It looks so nice.
Yeah, it's like they almost go out there and just like I don't know. It's like they could take a picture of something and be like, we can animate this.
It is like a massive flex as well. It's like look at all like the skin textures and like.
I don't know
characters.
How do they do it? I do not know.
Insane.
I mean, I'm not an animator, but I appreciate the art a lot.
Something I think, well, I don't know, it kind of didn't fit in when they brought in these like animals in the movie, where like
the spirit guides?
The spirit guide animals.
I like them.
They're a fun little addition, but I don't know that they do all that much. It's just, but like more than anything, I don't. Like, they're there to, like, please the children, I guess, because they're very bright and colourful. But they don't fit, really, within the movie's animation. It's like, here's this big neon cat that's completely different to everything else.
I gotta admit, it was a little bit jarring to look at, but then there's obviously, like, a good reason for it. There must be some sort of, maybe there's, like, an aspect to, like, this whole, like, festival or culture that obviously like brings in the animals and stuff maybe into it. I don't know. Why else would they have all the animals in there? There's got to be
for the kids.
Yeah, but think about it this way, right? You have these animals in there because animals are part of the family. Like, is this sort of like one of those? Well, we can't have this culture without talking about the animals of the family. I don't know. I'm just chatting out my ass, but it could be something that I don't know. But it could be, couldn't it? Because people talk about spirit guides and shit all the time about like, but then they're like wolves and shit, aren't they? Not cats and dogs. So maybe it was just like the wrong kind of animals, I don't know.
I think Dante as a dog was there to be
cute.
Like a cute little dumb dog, and kids are like, haha, he's silly, he's a silly dog. And he is.
Well, I enjoyed
him. He's got his
him.
tongue out.
So I am also a child because I enjoyed him quite a lot. Especially when he became a spirit guide and I got really, really, really emotional.
Yeah, she started squealing. She was really excited.
I was so happy. Because it's like he earned his stripes. He earned it.
Yeah, his wings.
I loved it. He was adorable. And then Chris was like, oh yeah, you know that tiny cat there? That's that big neon cat. And I was like, what the fuck? That was the only bit I didn't understand. Why was that big cat so big? How come the spirit guide dog wasn't like this massive like wolf thing?
I don't know. I didn't make the movie.
Maybe he'll become a big wolf.
Yeah, maybe.
I think
maybe in time.
it just takes a while. Yeah.
About the tangent. Just some of these questions I need answered. I feel like if someone is out there,
Oh,
listening.
I got a lot of questions to tell you. As much as I love the movie, it's like,
there are some things that do need answering.
but why did this? How does this family chastise people for playing music near them? Just like, how can you outlaw music entirely from your existence?
You can't, can you?
It's like, how dare you play music near me?
And like, what was that? So
That pissed me off, like, right at the end. It's like, in this super emotional moment where Miguel is playing Coco that Remember Me song to remind her of her father, and she starts remembering. It's supposed to be like this really heartfelt, emotional moment where you're supposed to cry. I was getting a bit choked up, but then, like, the family are like, oh my God, she's remembering. And I'm like, oh, shit, is music good or something? That's insane.
yeah, it's almost like music has impact on your memory or something. I don't understand that. Like, especially in parts where like Miguel can't control, like he's out in the world just shining shoes, whatever the fuck he's doing, and they're like, "What are you doing in this part of the world that has a music thing going on in the background? How dare you come here?" And it's like, oh, so if I avoided everywhere that had music, I couldn't go to the shops, I couldn't go I couldn't go outside. Like,
Go in a lift.
Yeah, like, what do you want me to do about that? How can you outlaw music? It doesn't make sense. It was really stupid. That was a really stupid premise for the whole thing. Like, oh, my great-granddaddy walked out, so therefore music
What
is
it?
bad.
It's like a part at the beginning where they're giving
What?
exposition, and then Miguel says, music had torn her family apart, but shoes held them all together.
What?
What are you talking about? Like, the dad left, or like the husband left to play music, so they were like, no more music. That's it. That's like dating someone who works at McDonald's, and then like you break up and you can never go to McDonald's again ever.
Yeah, like, it's not that deep, is it, to be honest, you know?
Like, maybe a specific type of music. Maybe. But nah, just all music.
Yeah, it's
All music, even though it's absolutely impossible to avoid any kind of music, like, just in life.
I just don't understand that. And it's like, I don't know, was there only one type of music in this like whole scenario? Is that why all music is outlawed? Because you don't hear any like differences of music, I suppose.
The grandma like destroys Miguel's guitar as well. Like, smash! Nah! No guitar, no music. I was like, you think you could stop the rhythm by destroying a guitar?
She owes you a lot of money, by the way. Because that thing looked like it was worth money.
What, his makeshift guitar that he made?
Yes, his makeshift guitar.
Made with like plasters and bandages.
Hey, it was cute.
It was made with love.
It was.
Yeah.
It was made with character.
There was a lot of emotional back pay.
So what do we think of the music? Because the film is kind of a musical in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Music's good.
I did like the music.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, I was expecting. So basically, Chris was telling me, he was like, "Oh, you're gonna know the songs from this film." Like, I see it on TikTok, and I'm like, "Okay, cool." Didn't recognize a single song that was in this film, and I don't know whether that was that. Like, there's nothing bad about the film, by the way, but it's just something that, you know, when you watch a Disney film or a Pixar film, whatever, fuck it. There's always that one song that's like always really famous, but I've never heard any of the songs from this film. Why? I don't know.
No.
I do not know.
I guess
But
they're not that ubiquitous, and as much as like, I don't know, that Bruno song from Encanto is.
That song is so fucking annoying, by the way.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Just like whatever gets adopted into the zeitgeist. I don't know. I guess maybe there's not like a singular like best song in this, so it's hard to pick one to be like, that's that one.
Yeah, I guess. And what
I remember when the film came out, Remember Me was big for a little bit, but then that kind of faded away and people
I
forgot
feel
about
like
it.
I don't.
It's a softer song.
Yeah, it might also be like the fact that I don't know anyone personally who's actually seen this film other than you two. No joke, I don't know anyone who's seen this film.
Well, it's a very niche movie.
But is it a niche movie though?
Yeah. Apparently so.
No, of course not.
That's the only thing I could think of, is that I don't know it because I don't know anyone who's seen it. Like, I'm not even like joking. I
Yeah.
don't know a single person other than you two that has seen it. But everyone loves it, so I don't know. I just don't know enough people.
Everyone does love it.
I love the way it's used, the music throughout, especially that "Remember Me" song. Although I think it may be slightly emotionally manipulative the way it's used, I think it does work really well.
It
I do
served its
think it is
purpose,
sweet.
did it not, Chris?
It does. It serves its purpose in the film.
Especially
I do
for
like
you,
it.
Chris. Jesus. Chris was a mess.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it personally, but it was like I was trying to watch it, and every now and again all I could hear was, I was like, oh god,
Hey,
here we
you know,
go.
I was choking up a little bit. Fuck it.
There was.
I'm not made of stone, people.
No. There was like a bit, yeah, with the when Miguel's playing the song
To Coco.
the guy Coco, and I was like, I could go right now, but then I just got distracted by the fact that Chris was just like literally like, not even crying. It was like audibly really loud, and I was like, oh okay, I can't cry anymore because like I need to.
You're too busy laughing.
I just had to stop and be like, are you all right?
I was like nearly there, and then like he was like, your dad loved you, Mama Coco, and then like I was like, aw, and then it cut to the family being like, oh, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
Because
that's
it's
so
like
sweet.
in that moment their entire philosophy changes on a dime.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like generations of music banning doesn't mean anything. He
Just
should have
wipe it
just
out
done that from the
immediately.
get-go.
He should have just played a song.
Yeah. That's what he should have
played
done.
a song and it would have been fine. It's actually the song that he knew all along. He didn't even have to learn a new song. It was there. It was already there. Hasn't she heard that song before if it's so ubiquitous in their culture?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
They're like, this Ernesto guy, he was the best guy ever. Everyone knows Remember Me. It's a classic, great song. But she ain't heard it. She's locked in her room. They're like, no music. So they lock her in her room. I guess, yeah, okay. Yeah, all right, I'll rescind that. Because they ain't hearing any music, are they? Because they don't like music. So, of course, she hasn't heard it.
Yeah. I also really like the score. I think it mixes like classic like Mexican mariachi music and stuff with classical orchestral stuff in a really interesting way. I think it's definitely quite unique sounding score.
Yeah, oh, that's really good. It sets an atmosphere and it sets like, it brings you into that world, you know, it brings you into that culture.
Yeah.
I really love all that. And it does prop the movie up a lot. Still got a bit of the vid. Sorry, man.
To be fair, I'm still coughing, so
Yeah.
I'm not even going
Remember Me actually won the Oscar for Best Original Song over the song Mystery of Love from Call Me By Your Name.
Oh,
Remember that being like a really controversial
I said that
thing.
script when you told me. I went, what, over
Yeah.
that great song?
Oh, I'm not
I hear-
surprised.
No,
I like
me
that song
neither,
so
but
much more though.
I definitely think Mystery of Love's a far, far better song.
It is. It's gorgeous.
The execs at Pixar are always like, we gotta write a banger. We gotta write an absolute banger for this movie, and it will win. Well, maybe not a banger.
They could
But it could just be good. It could be a bop.
They could have
Write a bop
paid
and it
them.
will win an Oscar.
Yeah,
Doesn't even have to be a bop, just a song in a Pixar movie.
just
write a
pay them
song.
off and then they'll win. Don't they like fund the Oscars? If they don't
Yeah.
win something, they're going to cut off all the broadcasting or something. They are fucking ruthless. Absolutely ruthless.
I think Toy Story 3 had an original song written by Randy Newman. I think that won, and that was like the most forgettable song ever.
Yeah.
What? So, this is brand new information to me, to be honest.
Or
Exactly.
Maybe it's not, and you just completely forgot about it like everyone else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds about right, yeah.
Isn't it quite convenient how Grandma Coco is like on the cusp of forgetting her father like, right after the Day of the Dead? What if this had happened a day later? You'd have no movie. It's just
Yeah,
like,
well.
It's a
I
good
like
thing.
just-
It's a good thing Miguel went into the land of the dead right at this moment, because otherwise his grandma would have been toast.
Yeah, well, I was reading up. Apparently, they Day of the Dead actually have a specific have like a specific shrine for people that are forgotten, whose like entire families have maybe died or like moved on or something. So technically, no one would actually be forgotten. They're
Yeah, I was
always
just about
kind
to
of
say,
remembered.
yeah, in that aspect, that kind of throws out the whole idea of going to the Forgotten Land or whatever the whatever the
Yeah,
hell
but
it
obviously,
was.
if they did that, then they kind of have no movie, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
That's sweet though. I like that a lot. I really like that moment where the old guy was like being forgotten, like he faded away. He was like, "Play me that song I like," and he fades away. That was like haunting.
Yeah,
you
it's really
dare.
creepy.
I was really confused as well because I was like, where did he go?
His like body disintegrates into
He turns into like dust.
dust.
Yeah,
and, like
and, like flies away.
yeah.
I feel like that's just like a really fucked up thing to put in a kids' film. Like,
I was like, oh, this place is purgatory. Then you've essentially said there is another place after this. Maybe this isn't the final death. You have to fade away into glittery dust, and that's your final death. And this is just what you wait for in this world.
That is terrifying, and I don't like the way.
Yeah, so one day everyone will forget that you were a person.
Yeah, he like says really that right afterwards. Like, happens to everyone eventually.
Sure, I'm not.
Does it?
I'm not gonna lie, but that's probably true, though, isn't it?
I mean, it is true.
It's gotta be.
But it's like a very horrible thing to like remind someone. It's like really dark.
It is, but
listen here, kids.
Listen here, your life means nothing, and
one
it will
day
never
you
mean
will
anything.
be dead, and no one that loves you will know you exist.
God,
and everyone who loved you will be dead, and nobody will be alive to remember you.
But then they try and make it all cute, like, but don't worry, because they're all here with you in this purgatory world. It's like, okay.
For a bit.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't understand.
For a little bit, you get that. Well, yeah, it's like, okay, you die, you're dead. You've escaped, essentially. Still got to work, though. Still people have jobs. There's still capitalism in the land of the dead. I thought we got away from all this. I thought the death was like a freeing from that economic construct. No, still people are working. Still people are working in like admin. What the fuck? Why is there admin in the land of the dead? Fucking hell, that'd be horrendous. I'd take my own photo off the offender if that was what came of it.
Yeah, I feel like Pixar loved doing that, like creating this like fantastical thing and then adding this like corporate spin on it almost, like with the Monsters Inc. Like the idea of monsters in your bedroom and turning that into a corporation.
Yeah, they even did that with Soul. Which is so like out there, but it's like still these like little blue ghosts have jobs. It's bullshit, man. It is bullshit.
I didn't know.
Just like a bunch more questions. I'm sorry. I even love this movie. I just have like a bunch of questions that make no sense. Like, why did the woman on the stage have like pronounced breasts if she was just a skeleton?
Yeah, because
like in a dress
just
and
muscle.
like
It's just muscle. It shouldn't be a thing. Everyone
have
should be
some
bare
sex
like.
appeal.
Just
Why should skeletons have
sprinkle
sex
a bit of sex
appeal?
appeal into this children's movie about skeletons?
So gross.
This is just the dress and the way it's built to make it look human.
It's fucked up. Though I did like how they kind of still wore makeup. It's like people still wore like lipstick even though they didn't have any lips. That was fun. I quite liked all that. And I do like all like the kind of tattooing on the skeletons and the skulls. That was all really nice.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's kind of like reminiscent of like all the masks they've got over there. It was weird how every Mexican dead person is here, but like Miguel just happens to run into his great-great-grandfather without either of them knowing that it's like them. It's like, I thought this other guy was my great-great-grandfather, but it's you who I just met by coincidence. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's a small world.
No, it's not.
Do you know how many people are dead? There's quite a lot of them. Yeah, but then again, it's one of those things that if you're really going to go into a story like that, it was going to take a while for that story to go on if you didn't meet them first time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like you have to make some conveniences in a plot a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's the only way that works.
I've got like a lot of questions that are just like, it doesn't matter.
Understand why, though. I do.
It doesn't fucking matter, does it?
Because it just doesn't make sense.
Like, how would they
do it in the first place? You know what I mean?
How can they exhibit any amount of pain if like all their nerve endings are not there anymore?
Yeah, they're just bones.
skeletons?
Yeah. No, it makes sense. I understand that.
It's fine.
But we're just getting
It's
into
an
like,
animated movie
why
about
does
a kid who like goes into the land of the dead.
Yeah, this is what I mean. It's like saying, why does sponges live underwater? It's kind of.
That being said, though, when Coco eventually dies, she's like old. She's like an old skeleton. But like everybody else from
Looks
that point,
young,
looks
don't
like really
they?
young. So it was just like horrible conveniences, just like befallen everyone.
Yeah,
They all
like
died really young.
Maybe.
yeah, I don't. Yeah,
That's
I don't,
horrendous. Somebody should be looking into this.
Yeah, because even that older man, like his uncle or his granddad or something, he doesn't seem that old when he's dead. So maybe I don't know. Yeah, do you die your age or do you like just die young? I don't understand. Like I don't get it. Oh well, do you know what?
Well, we know the great-great-grandfather was poisoned. That's why he died young. But the rest of them, I don't know. They're all shoemakers, so, clogging accidents?
All those shoes and the ceiling fell on them.
There was, yeah, all of them died right there in like an earthquake.
Mm.
They just invented steel toe cap boots.
Something I actually appreciate about this movie compared to a lot of other, not just Pixar movies, but I feel like just big budget animated movies recently, is the fact that very little of the cast are like big name actors that are like recognizable. Got like Gael Garcia Bernal, who plays Hector in the movie, and he's like the only name that people really know. Everyone else
I didn't know anyone.
People who are like maybe big in like Latin America and like that sort of side of things, but not really in like mainstream Hollywood. And I actually kind of appreciate
that though, because I feel like if you're getting a bit more, it's kind of like casting the correct people for the correct parts.
Yeah, I feel like it doesn't really matter who plays characters a lot of the time. Like, I don't think kids are gonna go watch Madagascar because Chris Rock's in it, you know.
Well,
they might do.
They might do now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I was always kind of complaining. I don't know, why don't you just hire actors who are like this nationality? I don't know. But I all the accents, they're really authentic, and I appreciate them going to that. Thanks, because you could have just got like American actors. You could have just got Chris Rock or Ben Stiller.
Yeah, they could have
just doing a Mexican accent, you know.
I don't think any of them would have been able to pull that off, though, if I'm totally honest.
Yeah, it would have just sounded like really racially insensitive.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of a thing that you also have to watch out for if you're gonna make a film about like certain cultures. I feel like you should at least make the effort to hire people of them, of the cultures and countries.
Yeah, I mean, we saw them recently with Luca just not even try.
Yeah.
Oh, that was meant to be Italian, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
But they were like sea people, so does it really count? Because sea people ain't a culture.
They live in Italy.
So yeah. The sea people are a culture.
Yeah. I actually have a lot to say, but I feel like we could move on.
I'm good to go.
It's just like random off notes. I don't know.
It depends.
How we're feeling, Chris. Chris is just scrolling through his notes.
He picks up like random facts. Like Coco was named after a.
Did you know that in 1865?
It is literally stupid shit like that. Mexican Day of the Dead started in 2049.
It was a stop motion short film from 1899.
The only note I wanted to bring up trivia wise was like a really weird thing that Disney did when the film came out. Do you know when
they killed a bunch of Mexicans?
Jesus Christ!
Well, you never know. You know, like Pixar, anytime you go see one of their movies, they've got like a short film before the film. With this one, for some reason, they put a 22-minute Olaf Frozen short before. And because so many people complained about how long it was, they took it off and just had no short film before.
That ain't it.
I must admit, if you're going to do a short film, 22 minutes of... I mean, I said it sounded fun, but you also did tell me it was 22 minutes long.
Yeah. Like, if it was just like a short, like 4 or 5 minute thing, like, yeah, sure, but
most
like
of them
22
only, like,
minutes.
8 minutes long or something.
They're not even that long. They're about 5 minutes at most.
Why on earth would you make it 22 minutes? What made you think that was acceptable to do? Before a film, like you're sitting there in the cinema and you want to watch Coco, you don't want to watch Olaf's Frozen Adventure.
Yeah.
That's like a third of the runtime. Why on earth am I sitting there?
Everyone loves Frozen. These dickheads love fucking Olaf. Just put him on the screen for 22 minutes. Just do it.
Oh, it just feels like so unnecessary. Well, of course it was, but can you see Olaf's Frozen Adventure anywhere? Is it like a
probably on Disney Plus?
Yeah, sure.
Because I would watch it.
Oh yeah. Also, this was actually the last original Disney movie, like animated movie from the 2010s. Every other film they put out in the 2010s afterwards was a sequel. So you had like The Incredibles 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet, Toy Story 4, and Frozen 2.
Yeah, none of those are good.
Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Toy Story 4 was good.
I haven't seen Frozen 2.
I haven't seen Frozen 2 either.
Toy
I like
Story
Toy
Frozen.
Story.
either.
fine.
It was
Incredibles
good.
2 was watchable.
I
It
like The
was not
Incredibles
as
too,
good as
but
the original.
then a lot of those Disney films kind of never live up to their prequels.
What we're racing out of?
Coco Pops.
Okay.
Coco.
I really, I really love this movie.
enough.
It just like it really emotionally hits me hard. I think it's just beautiful, beautifully animated. There's so much I really love about the movie. It's honestly, I think, one of my favorite Pixar movies. Like possibly top 3 for me. I'm gonna give it 10 Coco Pops out of 10. Really, really adore it.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. All about legacy and being remembered and remembering others, and it is very emotional. Really well animated, and it's I think it kind of defied expectations in a period where Pixar wasn't doing too well. They weren't doing too hot. I'll give it 8 Coco Pops out of 10.
I liked how you did the
Thanks.
like it was almost like a drum roll, but for him to get his like brain configured.
It's like a drum roll, but with your tongue.
A tongue roll. I really like this film. I probably would watch it again. Actually, a lot of these films I kind of go, would I watch it again? But as soon as it ended, I was like, I really like this film. I feel like I should show it to like my family or something because I feel like my mum would love this film. 8 Coco Pops out of 10.
Nice, yeah. I also didn't appreciate the fact that they were like, and nothing is more important than family. Like, shut up, Disney.
Yeah, what if you have
Shut up, Disney. Shut up.
what if you have a shit family? Fuck off, Disney.
Get out of here. Anyway, I recommended a movie.
You
It's
did.
called Brave. It's a Pixar movie. What do you know? It's from
What?
2012. And it's about Scotland. And it's about Merida. And she's an independent gal. She's a princess. And she disobeys an ancient custom. She's supposed to... Okay, so she's about to get married. And she's like, I don't want to get married. I'm just going to do my own thing. And her mum's like, you're going to get married? Whether you like it or not. And she's like, no, I won't. I'm going to turn you into a bear. So her mum turns into a bear, but she's like, I actually didn't really mean to. I didn't mean for you to turn into a bear, mum. So now they got to fix it. They got to stop her mum being a bear before it's all too late.
So should we give a little bit of context to that? So
What do you mean? I gave all the context in the
because
world.
I mean, like, she could just have stayed a bear. But the thing is, what's it? Dada Man. So I've got the Good Dinosaur up here. So I don't know the guy's name, whatever his name is.
What?
The guy, the dad. I've forgotten his name.
Yeah, the king.
The king. Okay, we'll go with the king. The king gets his like leg like bashed off by some bear, right?
Yeah, Mordu.
Yeah, right. And then so he has this like vendetta against all bears now or something. He starts like trying to kill the mum because she's a bear now. And do you know what? This wasn't as good as I remember it being. Oh my god.
Hang on. You know what? This movie was better than I remember it being. I watched this like last year and I was like, that was lame and boring. I didn't like that. But this time, I don't know. I think it might have been to do with like the headspace I was in at the time. I was not having a great day, so it was kind of a comforting movie, I suppose. It's pretty decent. It's pretty nice. It's not like nothing you'd ever expect from Pixar. It's like kind of one of those. And for me, I guess it's all right. It was okay. I had a decent enough time with it. I was waiting for it to get shit.
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
like-
what? Because you were like,
I
I
remembered
didn't
it
like
being
this
bad,
before.
and I was like, oh, that intro was actually pretty good.
Yeah,
I feel like something's gonna dip, but it kind of stayed level enough for me.
Yeah,
Stay
like
consistent.
it's one of those films that I liked it a lot when I first saw it, and this time it's not even that I didn't like it. I actually still enjoyed it, but I just had like loads of problems with like most of the animation, to be honest. Like this, I got one note here in particular. It's like I was talking to Chris and I was like, this animation looks worse than I remember it being. Like I used to be like in love with the whole like Merida's hair all being like all like fucking like red and fucking bouncy and shit. And the thing is, her hair looks amazing, right? But then like you turn to her mummy, she looks like something out of fucking Lara Croft. Like she looks like shit. She looks so flat and disgusting. And that is it. The
Maybe-
rest of the animation looks fine. It's just her character design looks really bad.
Maybe that's the point, though.
What, that her mum looks like a flat piece of shit?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe, because...
Here's a woman who's conformed to the system. Merida's not going to do that. She has bouncy red hair.
She does have bouncy red hair, and it looks gorgeous.
Looks lovely. It's really, really great animation on the hair. I think it was like a revelation when that came out. I was like, look at the hair!
Yeah, I remember just thinking, oh my god, look at the way it moves.
I'm still kind of like that. I
Yeah.
still really like the animation on the hair.
They created 2 programs literally just
Just to move the hair.
I think one of them was just for the hair. She had 1,500 strands of hair curls.
And do you know
Mhm.
what? I'm not even mad, because you can definitely see they put a lot of effort into like making this like, it's almost like Untamed. It's kind of like Boudica kind of shit, like where it's just like
Because she's untamed.
exactly.
She
it's
don't need
it's
no
a
man
metaphor.
to tame her.
But well, like I was saying earlier, it's kind of like this is another one of those films that just kind of tells the same story in a different way. I mean, sure, it kind of reminded me of like like Mulan, in the kind of way that it's like, oh, we got to break a tradition kind of thing. Like, I don't want to do the norms of whatever I have to be doing.
It's always kind of annoying when like a movie's like, I'm going against this
grain,
time-old tradition in this setting. It's very clearly, this did happen. It's like, yeah, there are arranged marriages, and that's just what you did back in the day. But like Disney movies got to be like, no, that's not for me. Actually, I'm an individual. It's like, okay, I guess you have to do that for like the plot, but it's the same thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think that's the only like real gripe I have with this film, is just that I've seen it done before, so I didn't really feel the need to watch it again. But saying that, I like the film quite a lot. Like, definitely different to how Chris felt about this film, because I thought Chris was going to die. So, Chris, do you want to tell her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've seen this film about 5 times
Fucking
now,
hell, man.
maybe.
You love it.
Yeah, for
I've
someone
seen
who
it-
doesn't love it,
I've seen
he
it
loves
quite a few times, because years ago I was like, I hate this movie. I'm going to make a YouTube video about how bad it is. So I just kept rewatching it from writing that, and I just never finished the video because I was like, I really can't be bothered.
That's brilliant. Oh my god.
So yeah, I just kind of went in knowing I wasn't going to enjoy it, and my expectations were like completely met. I remembered it very, very vividly. I just don't really gel with it at all. I really like the first like 15, 20 minutes, but when her mum turns into a bear, the film completely loses me. From then on, I just don't really care. I just think it's just really bland.
That's
really
the point where we're like,
dumb.
okay, it's Pixar now. It's
Yeah.
like a Pixar movie. It's doing what Disney Pixar movies do. Here's like a witch, and she's crazy, and her crow talks. And up until that point, I thought it was pretty interesting and grounded. And I thought they were going to play a bit more with like the Scottish folklore
That's what I
aspect of it.
like.
Oh, I really loved all that stuff with like that kind of circle of rocks they go into, and things kind of change a bit, and it's weird, and like the horse won't go into it. That's all cool, but they don't really do much more with it. And then she meets a witch, and she's like, "I'm gonna make you a potion. You want some? Do you want some woodwork? I'm crazy, haha. And your mum's gonna turn into a bear." Okay.
To be fair, I think my favourite part of this film is like the kind of like the Celtic roots and like music and stuff that they're using in it.
Yeah, I like that.
I don't know. It just felt like very Scottish, and I
Yeah.
like that a lot actually.
Oh, I love it all. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love like the Scottish actors as well. Merida, who plays her.
Is it
Such that. Yeah. Kelly
Kelly
MacDonald.
I
really
knew
good.
it. I was like, is it
Yeah.
Kelly MacDonald? And I thought, don't say it, because if it's wrong, you're like a
Yeah.
dick.
Billy Connolly.
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's so good.
But he sounds like him, doesn't he? Like I can't explain it. Like
he's got a great voice. I don't mind.
I'm watching it and I'm going, that's him.
Yeah, I love all that stuff. I love all the kind of medieval roots with Scotland as like a country.
Yeah, I feel like you're very much into like kind of
I'm
like
so
the
into
like the
that
period medieval kind of
Yeah.
thing. Like I fucking can't stand that normally.
I'm so
So
into
like
that
me and
kind of
Max are like the
stuff.
chalk and cheese of this.
Braveheart, fuck me up, man. Yeah, every day.
I just feel because every
Love it.
time like
Love
Max
all that
recommends
stuff.
something, I feel like it's like a period
Scottish,
piece almost.
and it's period piece in
Yeah,
Scotland.
he loves a period piece,
Love
whereas
a
I
Scottish
know
period piece.
Yeah.
I'm not about it.
I just really wish they went heavier on that. Maybe went heavier with like the fantasy element, maybe. But I feel like the film just kind of, when she turns into a bear, it just kind of becomes just like generic slapstick and stuff, and it comes like, I don't know, it's just a generic kids movie for me after that. There's nothing really that interesting.
See, I felt like one of your biggest gripes was those three little boys. Because like anytime they were on screen, you're just like writing a note like, they are not funny. Why are they in this movie?
Fuck these stupid little kids. I hate them so much. That's mad, man. I actually really like those boys. I like the kids.
I don't hate them.
Like a little comic relief characters who like get up to mischief. Oh, they're fun.
No, it was like, I don't
think
hate
they're
them.
cute. I
but
just
like,
don't really find them that funny.
Yeah, his note was like, these kids are here to be comic relief. They are not funny. And I'm like,
no, that's fine.
okay.
I don't mind that. He like goes down the dumbbell. He drops down. He's got like a chicken on his head, and he scares all the mates. He's like, he's like wiggling the chicken on his head.
I do like the wiggling
crazy.
of the chicken.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell if it
actually-
was a chicken or a turkey, but I had fun.
Yeah, I didn't mind them.
There were like
They
little
were
bits
right.
of this film that I thought were like really like great. Like I know it sounds really like cliche and stuff, but like there was that bit where I don't know, her mum like changes her like life philosophy, and she's like, because she can't speak, she has to do like the hand gestures, like
Yeah, as a
I am
bear.
the queen, and I think we should do our own thing. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know, I kind of have a soft spot for that because I think it's kind of sweet. I'm like, oh, they get along now, like.
Yeah, that
It's
was all right. But
nice.
the whole time I was thinking, you should go upstairs though. You need to. Like, the whole reason that
Yeah,
Meredith's
she should've
doing
just
this
fucked off,
is so
innit?
that you can go upstairs. She's like trying to create a distraction, but the Queen's like, I'm gonna
She's like, I'm gonna make my own
do
speech.
bear sign language
I know.
so that my daughter can repeat it to these people who are all not looking at me.
To
But
be
if
fair,
they did, like, I'd be toast.
I felt like she could have made it up as she went along, though. Like, she could have just done the whole, I'm the queen, you talk about this and following your heart, and I'll just go upstairs.
Yeah,
Come on. Like, she didn't have to stand,
suppose.
because she was making it so obvious she was there. She was, like, going, like, turning around and going, oh, look, I'm staring right at the queen as she is sign languaging to me, and she's a giant bear, and she looks wet like an otter. I'm like, okay. She did look wet like an otter. I really wanted to pet. I don't know, there's something about, like, Pixar doing, like, that whole, like, the whole textures thing where I just kind of want to, like, reach out and, like, grab them. It's a weird, it's a really weird, like, impulsive thing. But, like, she looked wet like an otter, and I just wanted to, like
smooth, silky fur.
yeah, I
Yeah,
just really wanted to pet her, and it was really weird.
yeah, it's alright. It was kind of always like that, though. I don't know. Like, I wish like they'd done a bit with the animation on the hair.
Yeah, they didn't really
kinda
move.
like they
It was
did-
just kind of, yeah.
I don't think they even had an excuse for it. Like, look at Monsters Inc. What they did with like Sally in that.
Yeah, his
movie.
hair was always moving.
That was crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
or even in this movie with Meredith's hair. Meredith's hair had more like animation to it than like the bear who was covered in fur.
Yeah, literally, I didn't understand that. But then again, if you're going to make a whole program just to do Merida's hair, then you're going to want to use all that, like, money and resources to your optimum, I suppose. But yeah, they could have had, I don't know, but were they just doing it because they were like, oh, she's a short-haired bear who's kind of wet-looking, so if her hair moves, it's going to look really weird. I don't know, I would have enjoyed it a bit more if I had seen a little bit of, like, wind swaying. and
Yeah,
shit.
that would have made it more interesting.
Would have made it
for
feel
sure.
real. Well, not real, but, you know, at least something that I can, like, grab. I don't know.
If I felt like I could grab that bear, I would have had a better time. But
Yeah. You laugh, but it's true.
they always go like, all right, the bear or the animal has like black eyes now. There's no like white like with the iris. It's a bear now. It's not human. When like you see the mother's in there, she's got like kind of whites around her pupils and but like when she becomes a bear and like it goes into the bear brain, she has like completely black eyes. It's like, oh, okay. I don't know. I feel like they could have done something with that. I don't know, because it's like very like Disney-fied animated eyes, I guess. It's like the same.
I felt like that kind of went nowhere as well. Her like turning into like the actual bear. I felt like they could have maybe done a bit more of that. Maybe had that as like the big third act thing.
Yeah, it was like, don't like you have to reverse the spell by the second sunrise, or she's going to be a bear forever. Why?
Yeah.
Why is that? Why couldn't it be 3 sunrises? They never give a reason. It's like, yeah, and it's a deadline because we need momentum with the plot. But I do like how, like, at least Merida in this is like Scottish, unlike something like How to Train Your Dragon, where like the main character is American and it makes no sense.
Yeah, like all the adults are Scottish, but all the children are American for some reason.
What's up with that? The kids these days, they can't identify with someone who's not American. We got to have them have American accents. Otherwise, what are they going to watch? Something that's not American.
How dare they?
This movie doesn't come from America. This movie comes from America. Nobody's like disputing that. So it's an American movie. It's not a Scottish movie.
No, anyone who says it's a Scottish movie clearly doesn't know what's going on.
I think it probably would have been better if they'd have like made it with like Scottish filmmakers.
Yeah,
perhaps.
maybe.
Yeah.
They would have probably done a bit more with like the background lore and like all the like different historic parts of it. I felt it was something like I guess like Wolf Walkers is like a movie that's like Irish, and they go like quite heavy into all the Irish kind of lore around that and like the folklore, and that really helps that movie, like heightens it a bit more. With this, I don't know, it is like you're watching an Americans make a movie that they think is Scottish.
Yeah. I can't tell if it's like, like meant to be like a tribute or something to like the Scottish people, if that makes sense. I don't know whether they were like,
we made one for you.
Yeah, but they seem to be doing that.
This is yours.
This is the kind of thing, though, isn't it? Like, Pixar are getting to the point where they're just doing everything. They're like, we want to cover all bases, so we basically got to have like a character from every single corner of the earth.
They're like scratching their brains in the studios right now. Like, what culture can we? What culture can we make money from now? What are we gonna do?
And like, we made a gay fish for you guys. Luca's a gay fish. Like,
but if anybody asks,
he's not.
No, he's not. There's enough pushback on that. You don't have to. When did he kiss him?
No.
They're like probably
love
kicking
that.
themselves like, oh, we did Canada and Japan in one fucking movie.
Maybe that's what they're trying.
No.
They're trying to like they're gonna try and squeeze all of these cultures into like one film. Soon they're gonna make like one of those.
We could have made 2 movies from Turning Red.
That's what
are we
did.
playing at?
They're like, it's not a Shameless Totoro ripoff if we make it in Ontario. There we go. If it's in Canada,
It's Canadian.
Ain't the same.
Thanks.
I fucking love that.
For all the bears in this movie, it's weird that none of them are just bears.
There's not enough bears.
All the bears are people. All the bears were people.
Yeah.
They never find like a real bear.
Yeah, that's because there's no bears in Scotland.
It's weird.
Just like there's no witch in a hut making woodwork.
Yeah.
Animals.
No, I mean bears are real.
Right, yeah, but I mean
That's right.
Yeah, there are no bears in Scotland, just like there's no witches in the woods. It's like a Megamind where he says, and there is no Queen of England.
Sorry, what I meant by that was that if you're not going to find them... I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Explain yourself.
Because bears don't exist in Scotland, so
Not anymore.
other things in this film don't exist.
Not anymore.
None of
Maybe
these
they
films
did back in the day.
I don't know.
Back
Maybe.
in the day, maybe there were
what we're
bears
talking
there.
like? This is the Celtic Age, so I don't fucking know when that was. I don't know history very well. A long fucking time ago. Maybe they did have bears now because they didn't really. I don't know.
All these suitors as well. All these sons.
They were
that
shit,
are supposed
weren't
to
they?
marry Merida. It's like, yeah, it's probably really easy to say they're all idiots because they're all dumb idiots, right? Of course she's going to fight for herself. What if I wish there was just like a guy
Who she was like blown
fine,
over with.
who was like all right, who was just like a decent dude.
Yeah.
She's like, but she still was like, fuck you, and beat him senseless at archery anyway.
Sure, that would have been great.
That was a really good scene, I thought.
Yeah,
I think that was
bit's
probably
great.
It is like a trailer moment, but when she fucking like goes out there and like starts winning all the archery stuff and like puts the arrow through the other guy's arrow who did really well, that was insane. That was so good.
I wish they leaned more into that kind of thing.
Yeah,
I wish they did more with her being great at archery.
they could have had a whole tourney in there,
Yeah.
like a whole tournament of just like Merida gets to choose what these guys are going to do. And she's like, archery. It's like, oh, okay. Anything else? You could have just done something else with it. Had like a whole kind of circuit going, but I guess not. Nah. Then the mum wouldn't have had time to become a bear. Boring. Their whole resolution was like, I feel like they do a lot of telling and not showing in this as well, which is quite annoying. I wish they'd just rely a bit more on their visual storytelling. But even at the end, when the mum changes back into a human, Meredith's like, "Oh, Mum, you've changed." And she's like, "We both have." Yeah. Okay. Why do you need to say it? You don't need to say it. It's visual. Kids are smart, okay? They're not idiots. Like, why are you saying all these things? That's a more modern thing, I think. I don't know. I feel like they didn't used to do that. I feel like they just relied on you to be like, "Oh yeah, that's that," and you can connect the dots. It's pretty easy. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they just think lower of kids nowadays.
Their brains are rotting with their TikToks and their Wi-Fi's.
They're 5Gs.
They're 5G. Back in my day, we only had 3Gs. What is the world coming to?
Something I really didn't like in this film was like
go on.
Random folk songs that just kept playing.
Yeah,
like random musical montages of like some women singing.
Yeah,
Birdie and Marcus Mumford.
Yeah, he had Marcus. They had that Birdie and Mumford and Sons song at the end.
Yeah,
really dates the movie.
Literally, me and Chris, I was like looking at the soundtrack, going, yeah, let's have a look at who's on it. And it was just like, like normal songs, and then there was just like one Birdie and Mumford, and then what was the other one? And I went, oh, this is a thing.
I thought it was that one.
No, there was another one, and I was like, oh, what's she doing on here? And you were like, she's the mum, and she's got a song from this film.
Oh, Emma Thompson.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, she has a song on this soundtrack. Not that I don't think I heard it. I don't know if it came up or if it was in the credits, or I don't know, but
who knows?
That's the thing, like, the music was fine, but yeah, it was kind of like, I would have just benefited more from like an instrumental kind of folk thing, rather than hearing lyrics like, I'm a
I
person
really
of the
liked the
forest.
score. It's just, when it just randomly cuts to those songs, it's just really unnecessary.
It just did, it didn't really need to be there, to be honest. It doesn't really take away from my experience of the film, to be honest, but...
You can have movies with songs with, singing in it, or like, Shrek 2. Really good soundtrack.
Are we really going to talk about Shrek 2?
Yeah, but that actually fits the tone of what it's going for.
Yeah.
But even I wish that they written songs that were more in keeping with this movie. Like they've written it for the movie and been here's a kind of logical kind of feeling you get. Like it's supposed to elicit a feeling instead of here's a song. Yeah, okay. Like they did that with Wolf Walkers. They had a few songs with lyrics and vocals in, and that fit that movie very well.
Yeah.
Or even with something like The Green Knight, they did that very well as well.
Yeah.
But this, it does take you out of it. It's a shame, really, because as much as it is a lot of to do with the typical Pixar fare, it establishes a consistent sort of tone. But then you take it out with these songs. I don't know.
I think you could have taken the songs out of it easily, and not like I said, it didn't change how I saw the movie, because I don't pay attention to that kind of thing anyway. But I don't know. I kind of, if I'm honest, sometimes I find that kind of thing kind of tacky.
Mm-hmm.
I would have just preferred just to not have anything in there at all, really.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Sometimes I just find it really corny and unnecessary, but that might just be how I interpret films to be. You don't have music in real life situations. I'm not walking down the street and fucking music's playing.
No?
I don't know, sometimes I just don't think it's necessary to have music for...
I don't know, I soundtrack my entire life.
I mean,
there's a
I would
second
like
where
to,
I'm not
but...
engaged with a conversation, or I've got headphones in. It's not worth doing.
I mean, yeah. I guess so. It's not really the same, but I understand what you mean. I'm kind of like that. I don't like being in that silence though. If I'm not talking to someone, there's got to be something happening, right?
As much as the mum Eleanor looks like shit. I don't know. You said she looks like shit.
She does.
I don't know. She's not the best character design ever.
She just looks flat and weird.
Yeah, but the character herself I actually quite liked.
Yeah.
They do a lot to flesh her out, kind of. You understand where she's coming from. I like the part where she throws Merida's bow on the the fireplace, and then immediately he's like, "Oh shit, why have I done that?"
Yeah.
There's kind of like a bit of regret there, and you understand that, like, why are these two fighting when they've been in such similar positions?
Mm-hmm.
It's just that Merida's fighting back, whereas I suppose Eleanor, who knows, maybe she did fight back a little bit, but it's just like a custom, and it's what's expected of you. It's just like, yeah, that's what women were expected to do, I suppose.
Yeah, it might also be kind of like maybe like a jealousy thing. Like, how
women
come
and
you
men,
can
I
do
suppose,
it? Yeah, like,
back in those days, it's like you marry off to the most, like the highest
suitable,
power, I guess. So like it was all about like forming strong bonds with different families and to grow like an empire, I suppose, and be able to gather more strength if there was like a war or a battle that came.
I feel like
from more enforced.
That's very much of period time, isn't it? I suppose
they do kind of go into that with like, oh yeah, these 4 different clans, they kind of fought together when like forces from the north invaded. And that was quite interesting. I also wish they'd gone a bit more into that with like the historical aspect of what's kind of happened in the movie's universe, but they don't. No,
they just kind of argue about which boys are stupid, pretty much.
Yeah, it's like that one son who's like got a really thick Scottish accent and nobody can
understand what he's saying.
It's like, if you're all Scottish, like, wouldn't you be able to decipher that? Like, why is he the only person who has a thick Scottish accent?
That is true, actually. If you are from Scotland, surely you would have heard enough people speaking like that to understand what... Yeah, I actually totally know what you're coming from.
You've not seen, like, Under the Skin? You can't make head nor tail of what those geezers are saying in that movie. And that's real stuff. That's, like, real, like, Scottish people saying stuff. And it's like, I don't understand.
Just people they found on the streets.
Yeah, like, there was, like, a small section where he was... after she does that speech, and they're like, oh, boys, what do you think? And then he spoke, and I actually understood what he was saying, but the rest of the time I was like, I have no idea.
Who's an idiot? He's got a really thick accent.
That's the thing, though. I don't understand that joke, though, because he's not an idiot for having a thick accent. You guys are just stupid for living in Scotland your whole life and not being able to understand him. Like, it's all right for me sitting here as a bystander, because I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're saying. Like, why isn't your accent thicker? I don't understand. Like, I don't get it.
It'd be like watching Derry Girls and they say something Irish and you're like, what? What was that? My friend who I've known my entire life? Well, that's insane. Why are you saying these things?
Yeah, like this boy's talking in his thick accent, and even his dad's like, I don't know what you're saying. It's like, what? Have you not known what he's been saying his whole life? Like, he's just talking. You're like,
Crazy. Should we go on to ratings?
Sure. What do you want to rate it out of?
Mordu's.
Mordu's?
The big bears, the Mordu.
I was just making sure that's what it said.
Was one of the brothers who was in the tale who revolted, and then he came out of the bear at the end as a force ghost.
And it was kind of
cool.
Jedi
force ghost. He was like, you guys are all right. Cheers.
Oh, live on in peace. Carry on. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't like this movie.
No.
I just found it really boring.
He barely said anything the whole time. It was just like...
I didn't really have any notes at all because I didn't really know what to say.
Please fucking stop.
He actually shut his laptop at one point and went, I'm done for now. I
put my laptop aside because I was like, what is there to say?
No, and then he was like, oh, I'll bring it back out when I have something to write. And he just never did. It was like dust. It was just like on the other side of the room. It's like, I have nothing to say.
Yeah, it's not for me. I rated it on Letterboxd yesterday. I actually do think I was a bit harsh, so I'll give it slightly higher.
You really were.
But I'd still give it like 4 more dues out of 10.
Sure.
Just don't like it.
I like the resentment as Max wrote 4 on the sheet. Like, fuck.
That's fine. That's
a single tear falls down his face.
That was what I thought it was going to be for me this time around. I was actually pleasantly surprised that I kind of did a 180 on it. I actually like it now. It's not like one of their best, I don't think at all, but it's definitely not one of their worst. It's definitely not in the lower echelon. I liked it. I might watch it again. I wouldn't oppose to watching it again, is I guess what I'm saying. But I don't know that I would actively seek it out, at least for a while. I do like the setting, but that's also not something that like you couldn't get from a different movie, I suppose. I'll give it 6 Mordus out of 10.
More dues.
And the whole reason like it was called Brave, it's like, and you got to be brave, I guess. At the end,
Yeah.
we'll call it Brave because you got to be brave.
Yeah, it's almost as if they couldn't think of a title, so they went, okay, what can we pull out of this? Oh, she's brave. There you go. That's a catchy title. To be honest, my opinion of the film hasn't really changed much. I liked it then, and I still kind of like it now. I don't think I'll watch it anytime soon, but I think that's more to do with the fact that it was okay. It was fun. 6 more doos. More doos.
More throughs.
More doos. Croissant.
Croissants. 6 croissants out of 10.
These stimulants are really fucking up my speech.
Darcy just took a fucking line before we started recording.
I wonder how that would work. I wonder if like cocaine would like do much to me. I mean, we're not gonna find out.
Or it would mellow you out.
Yeah, I don't know what it would do.
We would do one or the other, but neither would be preferable.
No, I think I'm gonna stay away from that.
Especially if we try to record. If it like mellowed you out, like, do we even care?
Yeah, but saying that, like, if I get too mellow, I tend to fall asleep. Like, there has been many times on this podcast where I've been laying down and speaking and then getting up just to say something and then going back down.
Anyway, speaking of movies I wish I was high while watching.
Speaking of films that made me almost fall asleep.
Fuck.
Speaking of films that made me want to do crack.
I literally keep looking at my screen, and I'm telling you now, obviously you guys can see it because you guys have Letterboxd, right? But this app, right, the plot is one line, and it's not even a plot, right? So, okay.
There is Dinosaur.
It literally is There is Dinosaur, right? So if you guys didn't know already, I picked a film called The Good Dinosaur. Came out in 2015. And it's... Right, I'm going to read this line out, because it is literally one line. An epic journey into the world of dinosaurs wherein Apatosaur... Fuck, I literally am losing my brains. Where a dinosaur named Arlo makes an unlikely human friend. That is it. It is one line.
That's the entire movie.
Yeah, that is
the thing is, right...
There's some nuance to this, guys. Something more is happening here.
No,
there's some ugly looking T-Rexes as well.
Right, no, and this is the thing, right? I know that this film had nothing happening in it, but to really like, this is Letterboxd, so you're trying to promote people to watch this film, and it is one line, and the tagline is "Little arms with big attitude." You're telling me that is your tagline for this movie? Little arms with big attitude.
Did he have any attitude at all?
No, he was a whingy, whiny little turtle bitch. I did not like this guy.
I'd call that an attitude.
Yeah, did you hear that? Like, that smack for everyone who heard that on the...
Yeah, it's one of the classic Peter Son movies. He's a geezer.
Who's he doing?
He's really
what's he directed?
Making waves. He
Nothing.
directed The Good Dinosaur.
That's it, he's got 2 films. It says he's got 3 films, but I can't see the other one.
I watched this in 3 chunks.
Directed a short film called Partly Cloudy.
It looks cute. That actually looks cute. That actually looks like something. Whereas this Arlo dinosaur literally looks like a gangly, green, noodle, turtle motherfucker. No, he doesn't look like a turtle. He looks like a tortoise.
Took me 3 tries to watch this.
This is boring.
This is an hour and a half long.
It's 93 minutes, but it feels like 17,000 hours. Like, me and Chris were like... I actually thought Chris was going to cry because he was just struggling. Like, you know how I struggle through these movies? It's weird to watch someone else actually struggle just as much as I do. It's horrible. It's actually horrible to watch.
What even is there in this film?
Nothing.
It's literally like 93 minutes of watching paint dry. There's nothing
really
going on.
boring.
There's like barely a plot. There's nothing interesting to look at. There's none of the characters have any personality.
Especially
apart from
Arlo. He's
Arlo
very
crying
shit.
all the time. And then
so whingy.
the human character who's like that character from the Wild Thornberrys, the little ginger kid.
Oh, no, you talk about
who's played by Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
His name's Spot in this film. Spot?
Yeah,
Spot.
he was cool. It was like a dog, and that's why he gave him a dog's name.
There's like a whole roles reverse sort of thing where, you know, normally in a film it'll be like the human character finds a lonely dinosaur on his own and reunites him with his dinosaur family.
Now
in
that
this
sounds
one, it's
like
the
a
other
good
way
movie.
around.
It's like the Tigger movie.
Yeah, it's like that.
Except
Is
not
it
like
like
that
the
because it's
Tigger
worse.
movie?
It's like Ice
No,
Age.
it's
like they had
nothing like
no
that.
idea
It's
what
Ice
to
Age.
do, but they were like, what if we just did Ice Age?
Wait a minute, I thought you said this film was How to Train Your Dragon.
No, it's not.
That's
No,
what you said.
I said the ending's a little bit like the ending of the third one.
Nah, anyway. No, it's not. Anyway, they were like, oh yeah, let's make Ice Age. What if we made that, but it was like a dinosaur? It was one dinosaur instead of a sloth, a mammoth, and a saber-tooth. And they were like, that's
Actually,
it.
no, do you know
And
what?
that dinosaur
yeah.
is really boring.
And that dinosaur looks like a thumb.
It is a gangly green noodle, and it looks like a tortoise without its shell. I do not like this Arlo thing at all. Like, I like the name Arlo. I'm not gonna lie, it's a cool name, but it doesn't suit him because he's a whingy little brat baby.
He doesn't deserve a cool name. He's not cool. He's lame.
Like, look how cute the poster is, and then you actually like watch the film and you're like, oh.
And then you were like, the good dinosaur, more like the not good dinosaur. Ha.
Like, what was that review that was like, The Good Dinosaur, more like the bad movie? And I was like, yeah. Like, I didn't laugh at first because I thought, oh, what a stupid review. And then I actually watched the film and I thought, oh, okay. And what was the other film that came out that year?
Inside Out.
Inside Out. Do you know how great
Yeah.
Inside Out is and how fucking awful this film is?
Inside Out is a masterpiece
the
in
thing
comparison to this movie.
I went onto, so basically I was going to look for something on Google. I don't remember what for. To see if I didn't even find out whether they
I was
had the
looking for
Good
news.
Dinosaur merch.
I was looking for a bit of rope.
And apparently there's like people rallying to make a second one of these films.
But they're not
What?
going to because this was a flop.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would anyone want to see a second of this?
See what happened?
Yeah, but they've already answered it. Geezer goes back home with his little family, and Arlo drew a circle, so they were trapped in that circle of dust forever.
Yeah, they could never get out.
It's
Yeah,
like,
it was a callback for when they put the twigs in the ground and then they drew the circle around the twigs to signify that they were one family. And then Spot went, "Ugh," and he tipped the twigs over and he buried the twigs under the earth. It was horrifying. It was so sad.
no, the sad part
like,
was
yeah,
where his
no.
dad got carried away by the ocean.
No, I'm not going to lie. No, I'm not going to lie. This movie does a lot of things wrong, okay? But it does maybe one or two things right. And that fucking moment was absolutely hilarious. When you fucking...
He's like, Dad!
Dad, no! And then the fucking... He's like, oh shit, and he tries to climb up the rock and he like can't do it, and then the wave comes and he like looks, he fucking looks at Arlo and he smiles and the wave hits him and it blacks out. It was hilarious. It was the funniest fucking moment
It's
in
like
that movie.
the anti-Lion King, like...
Oh, it was so funny. I think the last time I watched this, I found that really funny as well.
According to Chris, you may or may not have rewound it about 3 times. to
Yeah,
watch
you
it over
sent
and
a
over
clip
again.
of you laughing at in our group chat, and you're like, I've watched this like 5 times.
I could imagine Max doing that though, because we have seen films before where he's like, "Hold on, I need to watch that again," and then he'll rewind.
Oh,
it.
I love stupid fucking moments like that. I just love it. I love it so much. I count that as a positive. It's fucking hilarious.
It was ridiculous, to be fair. Like, I turned to Chris and I said, "Is that the part that's meant to make me feel like really sad and emotional?" Because if anything, it was really.
Every
Fucking
time they
stupid.
tried to make me feel sad and emotional, I laughed.
Mm.
It was always really funny. Like when the
Yeah.
dad comes back, but it's like a dream and he won't talk to Arlo, and then like
Mhm.
he like looks at Arlo and Arlo's like, "I've solved it" or something, and he's like, "I knew you would, son." And then
Well,
like,
me
the
and
rain
more.
goes into him and he fucking washes away with the rain. It was hilarious, man. It was like a Jedi's death.
I actually thought, I was like, "Oh, this is like watching Yoda die or something." It's so stupid. Like, because like Yoda just like dissolves or something, doesn't he? Like he just,
disappears.
he just eats.
It was like that. Yeah, it was like a Yoda death. He just eats it, man.
Oh,
Oh, it
God.
was so funny. Fuck.
But if that was the only thing that gave me any satisfaction, then this film just is the worst thing ever made, pretty much.
No.
Although I'll give it one thing though. Once again, the scenery is up par, mate. Like there was like these little shots at the beginning where they were like, doing like the mountains and like the sea and the sky, and I was like, oh, this actually looks quite real. And
It's
then
like a flex, right?
yeah,
Look how brilliant we can do animation.
but how
That it
annoying
now
is that?
looks photorealistic to the point where we didn't need to make it animation. We
Yeah,
didn't
and
need
like,
to animate it.
and the thing is, I kind of appreciate the fact that there's a lot of skill gone into that, but then
Oh yeah.
I'm kind of like disappointed as well, because why does the rest of it look so fucking bad?
I appreciate the skill of it, but it's in service of nothing because these two types
There's
of
no
animation that they
story.
use, like the 3D animation on the dinosaurs,
Mm-hmm.
looks like shit.
This is what I'm
It
getting at.
doesn't
Like,
blend very well at all.
it looks
No,
like
it's
they've
like-
shoved cartoons on top of
like watching
scenes.
fucking Space Jam.
Yeah, like just do
I think
Space Jam.
Yeah, it looks worse than
I think the
Space Jam.
lighting on the characters are also really off. There's like multiple points where they like completely clash and look really out of place. Like, especially like there's that opening sequence of them like chasing chickens in their little farm, and the chickens look so like fake, and they don't look like they're actually in the scene.
We just put in real chicken.
Yeah,
Yeah, to be honest,
Probably
you probably
could have.
could have. Yeah,
Chickens have been around for bloody ages, mate.
yeah. Like
Just
I'd say-
make them chickens.
like I understand that you
Put some
know
chickens in
dinosaurs, you can't have dinosaurs, but chickens you can do.
Yeah. And what was the point of opening the movie with a comet that did not hit Earth and then it skipped millions of years into the future?
They didn't need to do that.
No.
To be fair,
funny.
No, it's not.
although I do like the fact that Chris just then turned around and went, "It's fascinating to know that dinosaurs have been on the Earth longer than we've been alive." And I was like, "Thanks, Chris."
Yeah,
No, it's not. I've been alive for 25 years.
Not you
I meant just
specifically,
humans generally.
I
Well,
don't know.
yeah,
a
it's
lot
not
of
that
people have been
fascinating,
alive
is it?
longer than I have.
Uninteresting.
What, been alive longer than 1,000,000 years?
Maybe. Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, that is true. He is literally like.
Well, speaking of which, it was a weird... Like the humans in this movie, they kind of howled to each other, and I thought, I guess Spot was raised by wolves or something. But I guess not, because all the humans, they just howl to each other.
Sorry, what did I say? Right, I mentioned this. I said, why the fuck are they howling at each other instead of making like dinosaur noises or something? Because there's only dinosaurs. There's no fucking wolves in this movie.
It's chickens.
Why aren't they sounding like or sound like chickens or dinosaurs or there's no wolves here. There
Maybe
are
there
no
were, but you
wolves
just
in this
didn't see them.
movie. Right, but his family are all human. So why? Right, basically,
Maybe they weren't. Maybe they
There's
weren't
no
human. What do you mean they were all... His family had died.
No, his
Spot's
family were
family.
there.
No, they weren't. They were fucking dead, bruv.
His family were there. No,
They were
nah,
dead.
right,
No, it was just like
nah.
people he ran into, and
Okay,
it was like,
right, okay,
you belong
even
with
so-
these guys, and like nothing
even
prompted him to
so,
make that decision. He's like,
Why? At least have a wolf in this movie to
Why?
make me think, okay, wolves exist in this landscape.
they do exist.
Did you see a wolf in this movie?
I heard them make the wolf sound, and it reminded me of that time where Keanu Reeves was on TV, and then
Wait, what?
the lady asked him.
Wait, what?
Every time they howled, I got a really vivid memory of that video where Keanu Reeves is asked by a woman on TV if he has a girlfriend, and he says, "No, I'm a lone wolf."
He did
And
not,
he
did
fucking howls
he?
like a wolf. It's hilarious. So
I
every
need to
time they
see that,
howl, it reminded
'cause
me of that.
I need to look for that
Please
because I would
look that up.
I
It's so
would-
funny.
I would actually
Not
love
right now. It's
No,
out there.
because I've got Coco, the bird, up.
Oh my god, why have you got that up?
Oh, because Chris didn't know who Coco from the show was, so I had to look it up.
See, I told you Coco existed.
No, I was starting to think, right, that I know I'm not that much older than Chris, but I was starting to think, oh my god, does he not know what this is because I'm older?
Yeah, it's 'cause
I got scared.
I got home and you just randomly kept going Coco, and I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" You were like Coco
That's
the
what you were
bird.
like, and you were like, I can't believe he's not getting this.
Yeah, you were like Coco the
What, am I,
bird.
an
And I
old
was like,
spinster?
"Who's Coco the bird?" You were like Coco the bird. Goes Coco.
Right, and this is the thing that you have to learn. You have to remember about me, ladies and gents, is that I don't know what goes on up in the noodle of mine, but it is fascinating stuff. But I'm
You were really like, I'm so old. I'm getting really old. I can't believe
No,
this.
I- no,
Fucking know Coco
no,
the bird
I
is.
was only slightly worried, right? Because there are some differences, right? Where like Chris is talking about, like, I don't know, like, you guys were fucking talking about, like, iCarly not that long ago. And I was like,
Well,
I literally have never watched an episode of iCarly in my life because I was too old for iCarly at that point. I was on the cusp of being just slightly too old to know what it was or to watch it.
you're like a year older than us.
I know, but apparently it means the world now because he doesn't know who Coco the fucking Burb is. And
From what?
Foster's Home for Imaginary
Oh,
Friends.
we fucking watched that.
Yeah, when you showed me, I was like, oh, okay, I know that.
So
but
why
like,
do you know who Coco the Bird was?
because I don't remember that show that
Yeah.
well.
Well, apparently
come on.
I...
Like,
and there was that
I
character called
recognise
Cheese.
the character.
I don't know who Cheese was and why he was in it, but he go going, Cheese.
Do you remember Omi? You remember Omi, Chris?
No.
No, that's insane. I can't believe you. Whoa, I must be so much older than you. It's the iconic character from Shaolin Showdown.
No, but I was just getting worried that was like a genuine thing that I was like, oh god, it's finally happened.
What the fuck were we talking about?
Dinosaurs.
Something to do with the goodest dinosaur.
The
and how shit it was.
dinosaurs in this movie
Oh, it's
look
because
like
you were talking about
absolute
this wolf
shit.
thing, and I want to look it up now. What? I don't know.
Yeah, they're
wolf.
not good.
Lone wolf. Oh, okay. Well,
They've
I'm
got
not gonna play it on here. I'm just looking it up so I can find it later.
What are you talking about, man?
She's still talking about that Keanu Reeves video.
Yeah. Sorry.
Get off it, man. Like, it doesn't
I can't
matter
even-
anymore.
I can't even
I'll show
find
you
it.
afterwards. It doesn't matter. Anyway, yeah, the dinosaurs are like shit. I mean, they've got like the detail on them. They just look bad though.
Yeah,
like,
they do.
Like they squished like clay into it.
Yeah.
It's like oh.
It's
It's
quite
like-
weird, isn't it? Because like, oh no, sorry. Chris was probably just about to say that they look like pop vinyls or
Yeah, there's
something.
T-Rexes later that look like toys.
yeah.
Because they got like
their
squared off
heads are
and
huge and the
stuff.
rest of their body is tiny. It looks so ugly.
It does, and the thing is, I was like, when I
Yeah.
watched it, I thought, oh, they look better than Arlo does. But then, like, the longer they were on screen, I was like, oh, actually, they look just as bad, to be honest. And I felt
Yeah.
about that with like almost every character design. I thought they all looked absolutely hideous.
Yeah, I thought that with the designs. I also thought that with like the voices, apart from Sam Elliott.
Why is he in this
Yeah.
movie?
Because he's got a great voice, and I have
Oh,
no
and
problems
so's
with it.
Frances Dormant. She's
yeah,
in this
Frances
movie as well.
McDormand's in there. She doesn't really do a lot.
Who's she?
She's the mum.
Oh, okay.
Mummy dinosaur.
Exactly.
All right.
Jeffrey Wright plays the dad, doesn't he?
I don't know.
I think
Sounds like it.
pretty sure it's him, yeah. And
Yeah,
he's
why not?
also barely in it.
This is
so-
one of those films where it's just like,
It's like there's no need for name actors.
I don't know why they needed to be American.
Hmm.
Just going to put it out there. I don't think
No, they
America was a
could've-
thing.
they could have been
Yeah.
anything. Really,
Should have had
couldn't they?
dinosaur accents.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking dinosaur accents. I
What,
was
like
thinking,
they don't need voices?
Yeah, I kind of
Or-
like. I was like, why do they need to be American? Because America wasn't a thing. But it's like, well, what was a thing back in that day? I guess nothing.
Yeah,
So,
so it
I was
doesn't
like,
really
well,
matter,
what
yeah.
would you want them to have? I was like, I don't know. I just don't like hearing all these American accents coming from these dinosaurs when it's like this prehistoric thing and they're like hillbilly dinosaurs. Like, it's just weird. I don't know. It sounds weird to me.
But then wouldn't any voice sound weird? Because
I don't know.
yeah, because dinosaurs aren't meant to.
Give me another movie where it's this exact same thing, but it's different accents.
Yeah,
Just
I can't
give me
say.
all of that, and then just I'll make the decision on my own, and I'll watch each individual cut, all with different accents.
What about was the Land Before Time like?
They had American
Is that
accents
American?
in
Oh,
that.
see, I don't know. I've not seen anything dinosaur related that either
Yeah,
did
me
have a
either.
voice or
I don't
didn't.
know.
That was a
yeah.
classic movie. I used to love that as a kid.
See, and we were talking about this. We were like, oh, what is a good dinosaur movie? And I just
There are
went,
no good
dinosaurs.
dinosaur movies.
There are none. There are no good
I mean,
dinosaur movies.
Jurassic Park's fine.
It's
but
fine.
To be fair, that's something that
They don't have
kind of to be
accents
expected,
though.
isn't it?
They don't have accents. Those dinosaurs, well, especially not American accents. They have some kind of accent in that movie. We don't know what it is though.
Apparently this like film production wise was just like an absolute mess. Like
Yeah.
it was in production for 6 years because it like Pixar just couldn't seem to do it properly. Like there was loads of creative differences. They kept running into loads of problems with the story. Pixar were also multitasking with other film productions, so it kind of like they would work on it and then push it to the side or put it to like a B team while everyone else would work on like The Incredibles 2 or I know that wasn't out at that time. It would be like Cars 2 or Monsters University or something.
We gotta make Cars 2 as good as it can possibly be, guys.
The director Bob Peterson was removed from the project just under a year before its original release date and then like multiple Pixar directors jumped in and worked on it briefly before Peter Son like finally took the reins. There were like loads of delays. They laid off loads of members of staff while making it. The entire cast was completely scrapped, and they re-recorded everything and rewrote the script, and it just like seemed like an absolute mess, and they spent ages trying to perfect it, and the final product is just like this weird amalgamation of everything.
It's a bit messy. Yeah.
It is a little bit.
For a film that was in production for 6 years, it definitely doesn't seem that, because Coco was also in production for 6 years, and that's like vastly better.
I think that I was saying to Chris earlier that I think that they should have just cut their losses and scrapped this thing entirely.
Yeah.
It's a real New Mutants one.
Yeah, it just kind of... Like with some of their films, you can kind of understand why it exists, because it's like clearly a passion project by someone in the studio. Like the Cars trilogy, although I don't like those movies, they're like definitely a passion project of John Lasseter, who loves those cars, and he wants to make them happen. Whereas this film, I don't really get that from it. Don't really understand why they kept trying to push for this movie.
So you know that not to be scared. That's the big message, right?
That is like literally every Pixar movie.
They could have done that in a
ever.
short film. This could have been a short film.
I think they should have made this into a short film.
Well, their message is like the generic kind of who says I wasn't scared? Like Butch was like, who says I wasn't scared? It's okay to be scared, boy. And okay. I guess it's okay to be scared. Oh, yeah, okay. Great.
Yeah, I was like...
yeah, you could have done that in half an hour.
When you had that bit, I was like, okay, I feel like that could work if it was in service of something greater. If there was some more going on, and that wasn't just the entire point of the film.
I guess I won't be scared then. And then he goes to save the spot.
From the something.
From
Those
the pterodactyls. Yeah.
Yeah, I kept going, I think they're pterodactyls.
Yeah, they fly.
Yeah, they fly, right?
They're pterodactyls. Those are the only flying dinosaurs.
Yeah, there's not really a lot to say about this film, because
there was like no through line either. They like wrapped it up so quickly. Like that last scene went on for like, I don't know, maximum 2 minutes. He like gets home and they're like, oh fuck, it's you, and then he gets to put his like mark on the silo. Why they have a silo? I don't know. They're dinosaurs. He's like, oh, okay,
to gather the corn.
You've done it. The whole thing was like, I have to get my mark and I have to put my foot in the mud and then put my foot onto the silo and then I'll be part of the family. And he fucks off for a bit and he goes home and he's like, oh, you'll never believe what I just did. And they have to like take him at his word. Yeah,
like they could have just been like, all right then, prove it.
I feel like you're lying to us, but okay.
I think they just pitied him. They were like, oh, just put your foot on the
and that
wall,
all went on for like, I don't know, a minute and a half, and then it just like ended. It's like they couldn't wait for it to end.
Yeah, I got the impression in this film that, you know, like normally when you watch a film, you can kind of tell like the low points and the high point, mid-act and all that other shit. I didn't know where the fuck anything was in this movie. I was waiting. I was just like, okay.
Because they just walk in and they're like, all right, it's time to go to sleep.
Yeah.
All right, time to get up. Interact with someone for a bit. All right.
I just felt like there was like, like almost no story progression really. It was like, oh, okay.
As soon as like Spot got carried away, I was like, oh, thank God, it's the second act low point. It's almost over.
That's what I was waiting for. I was just like,
And it's amazing how the dad died from being hit by a wave.
But when they got hit by a wave,
Arlo just takes an insane amount of punishment. Like he gets hit by the wave, and then like he also gets hit by another wave, and he blacks out while he's in the river. Should have been dead. Either that should have killed him, or he should have been killed just like from hitting into different rocks on the way down to wherever he ends up, and then he should have died. He falls off a cliff and into like some brambles, and he gets tied up, and then like a rock like hits him at high speed on the head. That should have killed him. They fall off a waterfall. Yeah,
there are so many things that happen in this film that should have killed him before that wave killed his dad, but then you don't have a story.
And everyone's like, Arlo's an idiot. Arlo's a baby. Arlo's weak. It's like, this guy's the Hulk.
Yeah, this guy can take a beating.
It's insane. Why do these dinosaurs have jobs also? Why do they grow crops? Why do they build houses? How do they learn agriculture? How do they make
How do they
fences
do that with their little
and tie
feet?
rope around the fences to like keep the fences together when their feet are just like these clumps?
Literally, it was like Madagascar level, like the paws on the the tigers. They were like just giant blocks. It was like that, but with circles. It's so weird. I don't understand like the lore of this like dinosaur land. Even if you explained it to me, I'd still be like, why?
I want to cap this off with just a bunch of questions I had. You don't need to
Please
answer
do.
them. It's just like questions I had while running through it. Like, okay. Would it have killed them to make the kid something other than like a white kid? Really? He's just like a white kid with no nipples.
Yeah.
Could have been something else. I don't know. Do you guys like the part where like the kid fights the snake with the hands and he's like, and he bites the snake with the hands.
I did actually bring up the fact that I was like, well, Chris, if you're scared of snakes because of this kind of snake, then sure. Because that snake did look pretty gnarly.
Oh, here's a question for you. Did you like the part where they got high on those rotten berries?
What the fuck are you talking about? I don't remember that.
And they like eat the berries and like, oh man, these berries, they're no good. Puh. And they get high and like all their faces go like.
Oh yeah, it was like watching that scene from the escape room. You know, where they get all like vapey and sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did Spot retain his leaf loincloth after falling down the waterfall? And
Super leaf.
How did they not die?
It's a super leaf.
Yeah. I gotta get this guy's tailor. Something's on. Something's on about this, yeah. I thought, what must the people have thought when they saw a dinosaur draw a circle around them? Like, this geezer knows shapes.
They weren't even really scared either. Like, if I had seen a dinosaur, I'd probably shit my pants.
Nah, they know it's a herbivore. Like, this guy ain't gonna do shit to us. He's got a kid. He's a good guy.
Oh, to be fair, they might have seen
He's
dinosaurs
a good
before.
dinosaur.
He's the good dinosaur.
And then when he goes back, his mum's like, Henry, is that you? Because he's like really far off. It's like, wasn't his dad like huge?
Yeah.
What? No, of course it's not him. What we're rating this out of?
Spots.
Okay. This film sucks.
Yeah, it does.
This is like easily the worst Pixar film, I think. It's just like really, really dull. There's nothing interesting or memorable about it at all. I'd actually watched this film before and like I always thought, I feel like I'd probably just watched like maybe a little bit of it and that's why I don't really remember it. But now I've seen it again and I've already forgotten it, so I feel like I probably did watch it all before. 2 spots out of 10.
It's the worst Pixar movie. Really flexing with the animation, but what's it in service of? 2 spots out of 10. I don't like this. I actually would never watch this again. I'm ashamed that I had to watch it again for this, but now it's out there. I have my review out there. It's bad. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't really have any positive things to say about this movie. I'll never watch it again, and I pray to God no one ever makes me watch it again. 2 spots out of 10.
Yeah, the credits were like a show reel for the great animation.
And that was it.
I would have just watched that. Somebody rendered this in a machine? That's crazy. That was the best part.
Yeah, to be
That's that. And we don't need to spin any wheels of mayhem today, folks. Because we already know what we're watching in the next episode. High School Musical, the series, season 1. That's going to be insane.
Yes,
I cannot wait for that. In the meantime, social media. Subscribe? Maybe.
Subscribe.
YouTube is a Sunday Movie Marathon. Twitter is at Sunday Movie Pod. Facebook is at Sunday Movie Marathon. And Letterboxd is at Sunday MM. Capital S, capital MM. Any last words?
Hopefully we'll have also watched The Northman by the next episode.
What, really?
Yeah, it comes out on Friday.
Why would we have watched that? We're not even going to be here. At what point are we going to be able to watch that movie?
What are you on about?
The Northman. Are you chatting shit now?
This episode comes out a week today.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Sunday today.
Yeah.
It comes out in 7 days.
Yeah, but when are we going to have the time to watch it?
after this episode comes out, before we
Yeah, so
record
we've
the
got
next
essentially
episode.
like a week and a half.
Yeah, but we won't have time to do that.
What are you talking
What
about?
are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Why are we talking about this on the podcast?
Well,
Goodbye, podcast.
in the next episode, hear us talk about High School Musical, the series,
Wahoo!
and
About how
maybe-
apparently we didn't have time to watch The Northman.
maybe The Northman? Perhaps. Who knows? See you in the next one. I'm sorry about the argument.
I was cheering Granny up with Coco Pops.